Well, hey guys, Larry here, and we are over at the Ferry House. It is time to finish up the Ferry House, get this all sided and everything else. Got my little notepad and everything. When I did this, I had this all figured out and everything else. I did price it all out and everything else for finishing this siding. What's going to be happening is I put the steel down on the bottom, and it's all 4 feet up all the way around the whole house. And that way, because the snow sits all up against these houses up here, we get, this year we had 4.5 feet to 5 feet of snow on the ground, and it sits up against the houses up here. And this is why the houses, they kind of rot up here. The siding kind of rots, and like a T11 siding, it's kind of like a fiberboard type material. A lot of people will put these on houses, and it can be fine in a lot of areas and everything, but it's kind of made out of like a particle board, and then it has like a thick coating of paint stuff on them. That's what was on here. And when the snow sits up against here, the house is warmer than the outside, and the snow will melt. The heat from the house kind of melts it up against the house, and then it cools and it melts and cools, and it creates kind of like an ice wall right up against the house. And then when it snows again, it goes down in that little groove there and does the same thing to melt. Well, it can't go anywhere, and what it does is it leaches in through the siding, and it just soaks it in there, and after a few years of doing that, it starts rotting. So I put this metal siding, which is actually roofing material, I put this up against here. Behind this, I have green treated plywood. I have OSB around the whole thing that I wrapped with it. I tore all this off, you guys seen in the videos in the past, and I redid the foundation all the way around and everything. Then I wrapped the whole house with OSB. Then I put felt paper over the top of that, like a roofing felt paper. And then I put green treated plywood up on the walls, and it ends right here, right? You can see where this is. This is the felt paper behind it, and it ends right in here. And it's got green treated plywood around it, and then it's got OSB on top again. And then I put another layer of felt paper over the top of the green treated, and then I wrapped it with this house wrap stuff on top. So it's very well protected. It's not going to be able to soak into the wood of the house anymore and rot things. And so my plan is to do this steel siding here and then do vinyl siding going horizontally. I think it'll break up the lines of the house. Be very interesting. There's a few people up here that I've talked to, and friends up here and stuff. They've actually just put the steel siding all the way up and everything. And I kind of had the same idea as me, but I kind of have this other idea, breaking the lines up. So it's just not all lines up and down. It's going to have the 4 feet. Kind of looks like a wainscoting type thing. And I think it's going to look pretty cool. So now I have to measure everything. And I got to measure, because I did have all these measurements at one point in time, but it's been a couple years, guys. So I've lost them all. So I got to measure all the surface and everything, how much corner trim, J trim I need and everything, and then put that order in and get that stuff coming in. And then I can finish deciding the exterior of this house. So that's my plan for today, is measurements and getting on a computer and ordering stuff up. So I better get started. All right, guys. I actually am going to be doing a little bit something different than the siding. I'm clicking on SketchUp here. I'm going to show you guys some things here. This is a pretty cool program. I started at work. I measured all the siding for the house, got that all figured out and everything else. And I need 144 pieces of siding. Problem is, it was like a year and a half ago that I bought that siding, maybe even 2 years ago, that I bought that siding. That metal siding, and it was a big deal in matching the color up to the vinyl siding. It was a certain brand, a certain name brand, and everything else that matched the color. And I've looked at it on the Menards site, and all the slate blue, they all look the same. And I know that in the store they don't. So I have to actually go there. I have to travel down to, I have to actually go down to, we're going to create new here. I have to actually go down to Wisconsin. Got a big thing coming up, and I gonna stop at the Menards down there and actually look at them, put my eyeballs on them, figure out what I need. Then I can order the materials that I need. I got it all figured out for starter trim, for the corner trim, the inside corner trim, the J trim. I got everything figured out, how many pieces of each I need and everything. By doing the calculations on the house, I'm all set to go. I just got to get the right stuff ordered. I don't want it to come in and be an off color and not match. So I have been real busy with planning the buildings that I'm building out on the land and everything else. And I use this program, and I'm just a silly old truck driver. And I've been using this program. This is called SketchUp. You could do some really cool things with this. And I thought I would walk you guys through this and show you. I just got done meeting with an architect up here, and he has an engineer that works for them, and they have to figure out if the ideas that I have are going to be able to work together. And so to give him an idea what I'm planning on, basically with an architect, you sit down and they kind of have prefabbed kind of plans and stuff, and then you can change a few things, or you can tell them all of your ideas and you can try to figure it out, and you go back and forth and everything, and that ends costing a lot of money. If you can actually draw it out with dimensions and everything and show the architect exactly what you're after and show them all the dimensions and everything, it pretty much does the job for you. You could save a lot of money. So that's what I'm doing. And I've been using the SketchUp pretty much through this winter, and I've learned to do pretty good with it. So I thought I'll show you guys this. So right here in the middle, kind of off to the left there, there's a little character. Basically delete him. He is on here for, I think, size purposes, to show different size purposes and everything. And what we can do is we can first do our layout. So over here on the left, I'll click on the rectangle. You can follow along with my little mouse there, and I'll click on that. And I will click on a corner here. We can just use this and start going out. And then down in the right corner, it shows the dimensions that you are. Well, you can actually just type in the dimensions and it will automatically put it in there. So the building is going to be 120 feet. Some reason I put 129. 120 feet, and then comma in a space, and it's going to be 42 feet wide. So you click that, there it is. Now, if I use my track wheel on my mouse, I can actually zoom out a little bit so I can see the whole thing. I can actually click on this little thumb thing over here on the left with the arrows, click on the screen, hold my mouse down. I can move it around. I can drag it. We're still a little bit out. Okay, there we can see the whole thing. And then what's really kind of cool is over here on the left, you get multiple. This is a free version. This is all free. SketchUp is free. You can buy a pro version that does a few more things, but the free version does quite a bit. Down here in these three dots, if you click on this and you go to tape measure, we can check our slab here, and it's going to be, so right there, that's 120 feet. But what's really kind of cool is that you can actually go to corner. So when you go to square something, you want to know, well, what's it supposed to be square? It's right there. It gives you these dimensions. It's pretty cool, actually. That's going to be 127 feet, 1 5/8. So that's going to be that corner, that corner. You should be able to check from this corner to this corner. Right there it is, 127 and 1 5/8. So that's a square building. So I'm going to get rid of that. Now if I go over here to, on the right hand side, to scenes, I can go over here, standard views, and go to a top view. So now that's looking straight down on the plan. Now I know that my walls are 11, that I'm hoping to build it this way. I can get more into detail in that later, but my walls are going to be 11 1/4 thick. So we can, okay, I probably should show you what I just did. So I went in here to offset those three dots. Then I click on offset. Then I click on that. And then I click it once, and then I move my mouse inside. Now I'm going to type in 11 space 1 1/4. Got to make sure you put inches this time. If you look down in the right-hand corner, all the way over in the corner, you'll see that 11 1/4 in inches, and hit enter. And so now what that does is that makes a 11 1/4 inch in from the outside measurement all the way on to the inside. You can do that outside, you can do that inside, however you want to do it. So now I can go over here to the left, and I'm trying to do this real fast. I know it's
it's really, there's a lot of videos online that you can learn this stuff. It's pretty cool. But over here on the left, you got this little circle thing that my finger is pointing at right now. You click on that, and then that gives you like a 3D view type thing. And so you can rotate it, do all kinds of stuff and everything. Over on the right, you can see the scenes thing over here. You can do that by, clicking the front. You can click the right, whatever you want, everything you can do at top. But we'll kind of go a little bit of an angle here. This usually helps. We can also zoom in. Then over here on the left, there is this push pull little icon. Click on that, and then you see how it like highlights the center. See, like it's blue dot. If I go to the edge, that's 11 and a quarter. Click on it and then start to go up. I'm building walls. That's pretty cool. Well, my walls are going to be 16 feet tall. Boom. There it is. So now I have a 42 by 120 foot, 20-foot shop built with 16-foot walls. So that is pretty cool. And I gotta say, it's really neat. I've been having a lot of fun with this. So what we can do here now is we can start to build the building. Let's start on the front. So let's zoom out just a little bit, and let's get this more centered. We'll grab this little over here. My mouse is with the little arrows, or grab that. We can just move that to the center. And we got it. Sorry for the little dinging thing. I think that there's a short in a wire to my keyboard. It does that constantly. It's a very expensive keyboard, and I don't want to buy another one. I've kind of gotten over, but it's probably gonna be annoying to somebody. Every once in a while, it goes ding, 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 ding. Okay. So, excuse me. So now we click on our three little dots, and what we can do is grab the tape measure right here, and we can start to put guidelines for where we want to put doors and everything. So if we click on this edge right here, click it once, then drag it over. I know that I'm going to be going, I've already drawn this out and I've already given it to the architect, but I thought I would show you guys how easy this is. So we do 4 feet, hit enter. There's a 4-foot mark. Okay. That's going to be a start of the door. The door is 14 feet wide. And the doors are 14 feet high. And it's going to be the same thing from this side, 4 feet and 14 feet door. So now if I want to, I can measure this in between this. It should be 6 feet. Right there it is. You can see it on the screen, 6 feet. Okay, so now I have my guidelines out. You can see how they're dotted and everything else. These are all dotted lines. And if I click over here on the left on this little rectangle deal right there, you click on that. Now, if you go into the corner of your guideline, see it puts a little X that's saying that's it, that intersection. This makes you draw perfect squares, whatever you want. You click on it, then drag it down, and then click it again. And that draws a perfect box in there. And that's going to be a 14 by 14 box. So again, I'll click on it, then release it, come down to this corner where it says the X, click on it again. So now I got 2 doorways in. So one thing I like to do is I go up here to my left, and you can see this second thing. There's a little line pointer deal. The second one is an eraser. So I'm going to click on that. I like to get rid of my guidelines as I go, because you can surely get a lot of guidelines out when you do this. So now you can see I got 2 doors drawn on the front of this building. Now if we go over here to the left, you can see this push-pull icon. And if you click on that, sometimes you got to zoom in a little bit, and you click on it, and then you click your left mouse button, and then you start to move back. And you can see how it says offset limit to that. You want to keep wiggling it around until it says that on face. Sometimes see it, sometimes it moves all around. So you can pull it out, you can push it in. You just got to kind of mess around with it. You got to have it say on face, then release your left mouse, and it takes away that section. That's pretty cool. So we'll do it again on this one. Pull it in on face. There we go. There's 2 doors. So now we can start on the side walls. So we'll go like so. We'll zoom out a little bit. Get that. Get a little bit more into our screen there. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start doing my guidelines again. So I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a service door here. I figure with a service door opening, 2 feet is a good distance. That gives you a little bit of corner space to put pipes or shovels or whatever. So we're going to put 2 foot. So our door is going to start there. Our door, the rough opening on a service door for like a shop, a metal door and everything else will be 38, and you want to do a space and 1/4 inches. So then that gives us the other side of the door. The door height, rough opening, will be 82 inches. Okay. And that 82 inches is going to be my windows all the way across. I'm going to have them even so it looks uniformed all the way across. But now what I want to do is I want to put some windows in it. I don't want big windows put into the shop and everything that people can break through and stuff. You can still probably get through these windows, and they're not very expensive windows because it is a shop. Yeah, it's going to be really thermal great. I don't know how to say this, but it's going to be a good building and hold its heat. But the windows is not going to be because it is a shop. Things might get flying around or something might happen and break windows. I'm not going to put in some triple glazed windows and everything in a shop building. So we're going to do 15 feet. I'm just doing some windows just to let in some natural light. So maybe I don't have to have the windows on or lights on all the time. Or maybe I need to crack a window, weld in or something like that. Get some smoke out, whatever, you know. So we're going to do 15 feet, and the windows that I was looking at, they're pretty cheap and everything else. Are they're going to be a sliding window type thing. Are 3 feet wide, and move this over. Get to this last one. So 3 feet wide, and they're 2 foot tall. So there we go. We got more guidelines. So now we can draw in our windows. We're going to go to intersection, click, go down to the other corner, click again. This gives us our starting point and ending point of our rectangle we're drawing, or whatever kind of shape you want to draw. Click, click. We got to move over to get to the door. I lost it. Here it goes. Rectangle thing. Click and click. So now we'll let go and erase all of our guidelines, get those out of the way. I missed that one. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our push-pull thing. I'll try to do this without zooming in. It doesn't work the greatest, but I'll click on it, hold the button, and you got to kind of, there it is. I just got it. Nope, I didn't. Okay, so that didn't work, I don't think. I gotta check to see if there's a, oh, I think it did work, maybe. Yeah, I guess it did. Actually, I think it messed up the last time. Whoa, what was that? Okay, looks like it did work. Okay. So we need to push, pull, click the button, push it in. You got to kind of wiggle it. There it is. It says on face. Move it around there on face. On face. So now we have 3 windows and a doorway. And those are rough openings that I need to have. And 3 foot by 2 foot of rough opening for the windows. So now we can do the other side. So we'll do this one here. Move this over just a little bit. And we can start with our tape measure again. So we're going to put another service door here. So we're going to put 2 foot. And we're going to do 38 1/4 inches. We can do our 82 inches up. Then we can do 15 feet. 3 foot. 15 foot. It's kind of just like the other side. I'm just matching that side. So the building is uniform, but this side is going to be a little different. 3 foot. Then we'll have 2 foot high. There we go. Go back to our rectangle. Go corner, 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 corner. I'm actually going to leave the guidelines. Well, actually, I can erase these, but the guns going across, I'm actually going to be putting more windows in down on the further part of the building. And I'm going to leave those in. But we can do that. Okay, now we want our push-pull. I think I got it. Yep. So we're going to try it. Yeah, it's hard. If you're not zoomed in, you got to zoom in sometimes. There we go. Click. Face. Let's see if I can get the door in there. Oh, shoot. I missed that. I made it a window instead of a door. So we're going to have to mess with that. See if I can figure that out. Face. Okay, so I actually messed up a little bit, and I actually made this door in a window, and I could not get it to work. So I kind of had to back up a little bit. There we go. Draw that one. So if you're saying, hey, that's different. Yeah, I had to pause it and go back. I just used the back arrow to go back until I got that drawn as a door, not a window for that last one. Okay, we can erase those. We can zoom in a little bit. We can get our push-pull tool. Go on it, on face. I just like to zoom in on it. It's easier. Face. Ah, shoot, I messed that up. Let's see here. Can't believe how much I'm messing this up right now. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go, on face. Face. Go down to the third window here. You got to kind of wiggle around. There it goes, on face. All right. So we got the same type of thing going on. We got 3 windows on each side. We got service door on each side. And there's reasons for having the service door over here. The house is going to be over on this side, so walking into it or whatever. But there's also going to be something over on here on the side of the building. So I figure if I have to go out, it'd be easier doing it that way. So that's why I put that there. I figured in the way this building is, you kind of have to plan for things and put them in now. So now over here on this side, we are planning that we're going to build a building attached to this in the future. So I want to have a window in here right now because this is going to be kind of an office area because we do remote work, me and my wife, and we're going to put all our computers in this little corner inside here. And we want to have a window that's going to be outside. So what are we going to do is I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go 10 foot, 6 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to have 3 feet. That's going to be the window. Then I'm also going to have this building is going to be in here. And I'm going to go another 10 feet, 6 inches. And I'm actually going to put another door here. That way, if we have this other building on here, we'll have a door that we can go from one building into the other building. The plan is that maybe in the future, she likes older muscle cars. I like old muscle cars. She's a Chevy. I'm a Ford. So I said, we're going to have to get some muscle cars, have a build-off contest, and we'll need to store some cars. Can't leave them sitting on the weather up here. So we're going to do the 38 and 1/4 inch, which is the rough opening for the door. And that will take that down. And so now we can put in that window right here. And this is a door. So now we can use our push-pull. It's kind of getting redundant, I think, but there we go. It goes pretty fast. Okay. I think that went all the way through. Yeah. Okay. So now let's do the back wall. Okay, so the back wall over here is going to be, it's going to be in this area here, is going to be a window, that is going to be here. And this is where our office is going to be for all of our remote work and everything else. Then we're going to be coming over 11 feet. And this is going to be a start of another door. I'm going to have a door back here. Yes, 4 doors. And the door is what? It's I had to look at my piece of paper. 82 inches high. Then this window right here is 2 foot down. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there? So let's try that again. 2 foot. What's going on here? That should not be that way. It's gonna, I think I've had this happen one other time, I believe. So there's my door. Not really sure why that's going on. So let's see here. How can I do this differently? I don't know if it's at an angle, maybe. Let's try that. 2 foot. Okay, there it worked. Must have been because I was doing a goofy angle or something. Go back to the rectangle. Boom. Whoa, 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 whoa. I missed the corner. Gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. There we go. There we go. So now we got our window and our door drawn in. And now I'm gonna have, so behind this door right here, this is going to go into a bedroom that's going to be built, and there's going to be an apartment on the backside of this that we're going to move into until we get our house built. So there's going to be a bedroom down on the bottom, an office there, and then there's going to be a whole top floor for bedrooms and a living room and all this stuff. So from this doorway, I got 3 foot 5 1/8 of an inch, and then we're putting a window in. Foot. We can draw that one. Excusez-moi. Corner, corner. Now we can go back to our push-pull. And like zoom in. See if I can get it from here. On face. Oh, wrong way. Go. Oh, on face. All right. So there is the bottom. So now I'm going to erase some of these lines. Yeah, you can go on over on the right-hand side. There's a button that you can actually click on to get rid of all guidelines and stuff. But I actually needed to keep some of them. Okay, so let's go to camera view. Let's go to back. No, that's not the one. That's back. That's the front. That's that. Nope. Let's see. Right. Let's go left. Okay, that's it. It's kind of got it backwards on me right now. Okay, so now up in the top, this is going to, up in the top here is going to be the top story, what's actually going to be the apartment. Once we are done building our house, then the bottom will turn into more of my workspace. I'll be taking the bedroom out and our little computer room. That will be in our house, and this will be a workshop more down here. And I will keep the apartment upstairs for friends, family, people that come over and everything else. They have a place to stay. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down. This is going to be the top edge of our door and everything else. And we'll come over here. It's pretty simple, and you can play around with this stuff and do some really cool stuff. 10 foot 4 inches in that corner. Okay, so now this this is going to be a sliding, it's not going to be a sliding door. It's going to be like a patio door that has a door that opens on it. And the rough opening on that is 6 foot. And coming down is 6 foot 8 inches. Let's see. Then we're going to be coming from here, doing 14 feet and ½ inch. Did I type it in? What did I do? I lost myself there for a second. Enter. And then let's see, where am I at? 14½ inch. Okay, then this is going to be the bathroom up there, and just putting a smaller bathroom window in. It's 32 1/4 inches. And coming down, it's 14 1/2 inches. And then from that window over is 3 foot 2 inches. And then 3 feet over here. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Is that 3 foot? Let's check that measurement. Doesn't look right to me. Yeah, that's right. Seems like it's off from that one. I think I'm just at, yeah, I'm just at an angle. Okay, so we can do our rectangle again. Get this corner. This is the bathroom window. This is going to be the, oh, I know why it's goofy. I got it. I gotta put another line in here. That's why. It's 2 foot. That's the size of the window. That's why I was looking. I knew something didn't look right. So we go here, and this is a window in a bedroom. So now we can get rid of all of these guidelines, clean this up a bit. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for sticking with me. Click on there, push, pull, get on face, remove it. This one I know I'm gonna have to zoom in for. Come on, give it to me. There it is. It can be touchy for a while, figuring out, getting that to go on face. Okay, so there is the outside of our building. The upstairs is going to be a bedroom. This is going to be kind of the living room, dining room area over in here. There's going to be a bathroom right behind this wall, a small bedroom over here, and then there's going to be a bigger bedroom over in this area. This is the kitchen, the dining room, and there'll be stairs coming down into here. And then this, I'm going to actually put a patio out here and then stairs coming down. That's why the door, I wanted it to be the door over in this area, but if I put it over here, it's going to be blocking the stairs. So I figured this here, I can make a patio that comes out here, and then the stairs will come off that patio and come down right here. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's neat things you can do. You can do so much more with this thing. And actually, I will show you what I sent the architect. This is a quick rendition of the video I did, and I'll show you what I kind of did there. Let's go back out. Let's go to home. No, we don't need to save this because I've already done it. And so this is the barnuminium. This is what I sent to, and it's not done, but it gives them a very good idea. But see, you can actually put all the measurements from each corner, how big everything is. You can see this is the back wall right here. And you can see this is the side wall. Zoom out a little bit so we can keep spinning the house around. Computer's kind of glitchy a little bit. There's the front. Zoom back in. Whoa, my computer's glitching like crazy. Over here, you can see the other wall. And the whole reason why I have nothing over here is because I'm thinking someday what I would like to have is like a sand booth or a sandblasting booth. And so years down the road, when I get the house done and everything, I have some more free time. Then I can build another like a block walls out here and everything, and maybe even put a roof over it, but be open to the back that I can pull a big piece of equipment in there and have sandblasting set up so I can sandblast stuff for painting. So the inside of the building, you can kind of see what's going on here. I sent this to the architect, and what I want is I want a 24-foot pit, 3 foot 4 inches wide, and 8 feet deep. And I want this. I want him to check on the regulations of having a pit. Some places you can, some places you can't. I heard you can, but I also heard that there's some things that kind of have to be engineered into it. So if it's going to be super expensive, probably not. But over here, these pillars right here, they're 2 foot by 2 foot basically. I have these placed in here for also for a lift to that would be a good place, and have a foundation through the concrete floor that's like 1.5 feet, 16 inches deep of concrete, and everything else that's anchored down that can bolt down a big lift, a 12 to 15,000 pound lift. So we're zooming in here. I don't know why my computer is acting weird. Let's things are really slow. I got a lot of programs up. I've been doing a lot of stuff with permits and everything lately. But this is kind of the apartment here that I have designed. You can see right over here, there's the front door. These are going to be 2 windows. They're going to open in the shop. It is what it is. This is going to be that big patio door and everything out. I figured this would be a living room area right over in this side. Just put a TV, some couches over here, maybe some work tables and stuff like that. Maybe some benches over here for hanging up clothes and stuff. This will be 1 bedroom right here. This bedroom is 11 by 12 foot. And then this bedroom over here is 7 by 8 foot. And then this is going to be the bathroom, and it's 7 feet deep. And the bathroom is 11 feet long, right? No. No, it's 8 foot. So it's 8 foot by 8 foot. The reason for that is because a double sink and a toilet would take up to 7 feet, and then I can build a stand-up shower over here, and I can build some cabinets right next to the stand-up shower for like linens and stuff. But you can kind of see there, and I put in some kitchen countertops to kind of give perspective and everything. And so that's what it would look like inside. And I don't know if I'll put an island on. I just need the architect to draw out the floor plans so that, with the finished products, what I do is going to be what I do. But I need the floor plans drawn up so that I can get the building permit. I can show you some other cool things. All right, guys, sorry about that. I had a glitch going on with the SketchUp, but I got it all taken care of. But I didn't show you guys too, because I'm not a big teacher. I'm not going to be a teacher of SketchUp or nothing like that. I'm learning so much, but you're supposed to group things together, and that way you can't move and things. And I actually screwed this one up when I was designing this house. I was almost done with it, and somehow the whole house is shifted on top of the basement. You can kind of see how it's sticking off the basement foundation here, and it's over here. The whole house, I moved it somehow, and it's really a pain in the butt. But you can see, so if I take away, let's see, I take away the subfloor, the SIP walls, and then you can group things together like this. Kitchen stuff, master bedroom walls, take away the entry to the basement, dining room walls, bath and laundry, second room bath. I don't see where the other ones are. Oh, there they all are. They're all gone now. So here's the basement. So this will be the basement of it with an attached 2-car garage on it. And then you can start adding stuff. And so we can put on, let's put the subfloor on. So there's the subfloor with the entry going down into the basement. And then we can have the entry to the basement. And that's going to be built in. And there's going to be like a doorway that will go down into steps going down into the basement. Then we could do like, we could put the dining room walls in. We could put the bath and the laundry in. So this is going to be like a half bath thing, and it'll be a laundry room over here from the entry, from the like a mud room, and then put like a washer and dryer over here. So here's the second bedroom. So this is the other bedroom and a closet. And then the bathroom is right next to that one. And so then the master bedroom. So there's the master bedroom right there. And what's really cool about SketchUp is you can actually go into 3D warehouse over here, or components. I'm not really sure. I can't remember at the moment. But you can actually pick out scale to size beds, dressers, toilets, all kinds of things, and place them in your house and move them around to figure out they're going to fit. And a king size bed will fit in here really nice with end tables and a dresser. And it's pretty cool how you can look at all that to see if your sizing is good. Here's the kitchen. So there's the kitchen and everything. So you can see like the countertops and everything going around here. There would be a stove, there would be a refrigerator, a nice island in there. And then I can put on, I was building this one looking at with SIP walls, which is structurally engineered panels. And so there's all that in there. But you can see how I shifted the house and I can see the countertop. But that's with all the SIP walls put in. And then SIP walls, you need some way to support the roof. So then I built it with rafters. And it would be like a laminated beam type rafter system that would hold all that up. And then then the roof. And this would also be structurally engineered panels, and they would just sit up there, and you can see how I got that angled in there. There's another roof. That's the other angle. This is over to kind of that side. That's there. And this is the garage roofs. So it's not perfect or nothing. And I started messing around with it and everything, but it's pretty cool. And you can actually do a 3D walkthrough. You can be like a person and you can guide yourself into the door and walk around the house to show it off the models and all this stuff. It's really cool stuff, guys. SketchUp, you can use all kinds of stuff. I was even telling my son-in-law, the drunk carpenter, he can design projects for his woodworking on here and everything else. And you do it all for sizes and everything. And then and you can do it all for sizes and everything. I don't know what is going on with the SketchUp. It's freaking out on me. I think it's because I got the Zoom thing going at the same time. But you can do all this and look all at it, and then you can print out a printout that you'll be able to put in for parts and everything for the pieces to put all the tables together or make furniture and stuff. A lot of people use this stuff. It is really cool stuff. So I don't know what this one is. But yeah, it's really neat. So I use this is the basement of the house that I was designing, trying to get a cleaner look instead of the part that has the offset. I was redesigning it and everything else, but we've kind of gone that we're not going to do this right now. We're going to build our barn dominium first. So I was able to draw this up and I sent it off to the architect. He came back and he was like, wow. I said, were you able to view it and everything? He goes, yeah, I was able to go around it, check all sizes. I have all the information I need. I'm ready to go. So he's going to be meeting me out on Thursday out on the property, and we're going to give him a tour exactly where we want it and everything else. And we got a surveyor coming. He's going to survey the property so we can get all that done. And then he'll be drawing us up the house plans. We've had to actually put in for a street address, and we actually got to name our own driveway. It's going to be actually named. It's going to be an actual street, and it's going to have a street sign and everything else. It's kind of cool. We had to do that because for the well permit, for the septic permit, all that stuff, we need an address. So we had to go through and do this. This guy's coming out. He's going to draw this up for us. And then some of my ideas that I'm thinking about, he is going to actually see and talk with his engineer and see if it's feasible what I want to do. I'll talk more on that later. I kind of got some crazy ideas on how to build this thing. So pretty cool. So no working on the ferry house this week. I got to go run down there. I got to look at Menards, find the right siding, order it. I don't know how long it'll take, by a week or two or whatever. And then we'll conquer that ferry house and get that thing all sided up, and that thing will be all done, and we'll have a finished product over there. So pretty cool. I thought you guys might enjoy this and seeing what we're planning for the future. Yeah, fun stuff. Lots of paperwork going on. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night as you watch this here video. And if you are not, you can certainly try that all over again tomorrow. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time.